Thinking of planning your honeymoon in 2024 or 25? Hold on, let's talk about some of the trends we're seeing. Hi, this is Jack with Vacationese, and let me tell you about some of the things we're seeing for honeymoon planning in 2024 and early 2025. Now, I know this is not about destination weddings, but destination weddings, honeymoons, one goes hand in hand. Do me a favor, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to my videos. I do post new videos every week. So some of the trends we're seeing with people that are doing a destination wedding and a honeymoon is that people will do a post-stay from their destination wedding in the same destination location, but at a different resort. So as an example, we may have a client have a destination wedding in, let's say, Punta Cana at a family-friendly resort, but after their wedding, they may hang out with their friends and family for a day or two, and then they'll ask us, is it possible to move to a different resort, preferably adults only? We're seeing that trend a lot with our clients that are doing destination weddings. One of the benefits is that you've spent the money for the flights to get there. You've already set the time in your schedule for your wedding, and you're only extending a couple days. We're typically seeing those people extend for 3 to 5 days after their wedding. So it's a really simplistic way to do a honeymoon. It's cost effective, and it's a fun way to relax after your destination wedding that you can spend some us time versus with all of your guests. Now, for clients that aren't doing destination weddings and extending, but looking to do a honeymoon afterwards, let's talk about some of the trends we're seeing. One of the things we're hearing from clients is brides and grooms, families that are planning people's honeymoons. Believe it or not, we've had some parents contact us to plan their kids' honeymoons, which is nice that they're paying for them. But we're hearing people want to be more immersive in terms of where they're going. They don't just want to go sit on a beach. They want to actually experience things. So I'm hearing people ask us about places that I've never heard about being asked about before, for honeymoons that is, like Antarctica. I've had a bunch of people recently contact us about doing a cruise to Antarctica. They want to see the penguins. They want to see icebergs. It could be also that they just want to go to some place that no one else has gone, or they've seen things on Instagram. Now, the best way to do Antarctica is just that, do a cruise. So you're typically flying to Brazil or Argentina and then extending from there to do Antarctica. And there's multiple different itineraries that you can do. Most of the cruise lines do it. I will say most of the higher end cruise lines. So if you're looking for a larger ship, most of the larger ships don't go down to Antarctica. They may go around Brazil and talk about an Arctic experience. But if you want to truly go and see icebergs and penguins, you may have to do some of the smaller ships such as Silver Sea, Ponant, or Seabourn. Those smaller cruise lines will go to those areas. The larger ships like the Royal Caribbeans and the Princesses just don't go to those areas. It is an expensive trip, but truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And if you're taking a honeymoon, you typically have time and money to spend because it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. This would be a place. Another place people have asked me about recently has been Morocco. Morocco is hot. I've been to Morocco a couple times. It is a destination you can go to and experience a lot of different things in a let's say 10 to 14 day trip. Also, the nice thing about Morocco, once you're there, everything is reasonably priced. So it's not as though every time you eat, you're going to be spending a lot of money. Morocco has beaches, they have culture, they have shopping, they have food, they have hiking. You can actually ski in Morocco. You can ski on snow, and you can also ski on sand dunes. You can take cooking classes. We've seen people combine Morocco with Portugal or Morocco with Spain. So you can do that as well. You can stay at beautiful 5-star beach hotels beautiful 5-star city hotels and what are called riads. These are boutique small hotels, almost like a unique property in the middle of the city. They're very hard to find, but the service and the experience is truly exceptional. So I'd say Morocco is going to be one of the top places for 2024 and 2025. Going back to the idea of exotic, another place that I'm hearing people ask a lot are for the Maldives. So we've heard people ask about the Maldives or the Seychelles. Now here's the only issue. People do not know where the Maldives and Seychelles are. So it's very tough. You can't go for 5 days. I've had people ask me about, can we just go for a long weekend? If you want to sit on an airplane for 4 of the 5 days, you can do that. So typically, if you're going to go to the Maldives, which are little, what they call atolls or little islands, you may have one island has its own hotel. Some of the hotels or resorts are all-inclusive and some are not. My suggestion is if you are looking at the Maldives, to try to find a location that is all-inclusive, because what I've found is if you're on these resorts, you don't have options. You can't just leave the hotel and go to different restaurants because the only thing on that little island is going to be your resort. There are amazing 5-star resorts in the Maldives, amazing experience, very romantic, overwater bungalows, beaches that are truly spectacular. But again, you do have to fly, in essence, halfway around the world to get to the Maldives. So another place is Tahiti. Now, Tahiti can provide you everything you're expecting on a honeymoon. If you want a beach, there's beautiful beaches. Now, when people talk about Tahiti, you have to think about Bora Bora, Moorea, Papeete. Most people just think of Bora Bora and Moorea. So there's multiple ways you can do Tahiti. So if you want to do Tahiti, my favorite way, it would be on a Windstar cruise. You will take a cruise out of Papeete and you can visit most of the islands at Tahiti, either a 7-day or a 10-day trip. Now, the nice thing about that is it's a luxury yacht experience. Don't think of 5,000 people. The Windstar cruises are between 125 and 300 people. Very boutique experience. The nice thing with Windstar is that on the back of each ship, they open the back up and there's a marina. So you can basically jump off the back of the ship. They have toys you can play in, jet skis, and the water in Tahiti for you to play in is amazing. Now, when you're doing Tahiti, again, everybody thinks of overwater bungalows. At Vacationes, our favorite experience for you to do would be the Windstar cruise, and after your cruise, stay in one of the overwater bungalows for a day or two. You will have to do Tahiti, I would say 10 to 14 days is a great time to plan. Now, Tahiti is not just about the beaches. You can do cooking classes, you can do snorkeling, you can do hiking, bike riding, there's culture, learn about the pearls, learn about the history. So I think going back to the idea of an immersive honeymoon, Tahiti can provide you relaxation, a foodie experience, plus that immersive experience. Asia has continued to be hot, people asking us about where in Asia. Again, you can look at China and Japan, but most of honeymoon clients are interested in some beach part of their trip. So another great destination I'm always explaining people about would be Thailand. Thailand will offer you anything you can think about. If you want culture, if you want food, if you want shopping, if you want to see elephants, if you just want to sit on the beach. So in Thailand, again, similar as Bali, similar as the Maldives, you have to budget 10 to 14 days because of the flights. It'll take you a day and a half to 2 days to get there and a day and a half to 2 days to get back. So we would typically suggest going to Bangkok. Bangkok is a shopping destination. It's a foodie destination. It's a gigantic city. So if you like big cities, there's museums, everything to do there. And then if you have time, we would take you up north to one of the cities up there. Feels totally different than being in Bangkok. And then from there, end your honeymoon at one of the beach destinations, whether it's Samui, Koh Samui, or Phuket. There's a lot of different options in Thailand for beach destinations You have small boutique hotels, you have larger beach hotels. If you want to party all night long, each of the beach destinations has the ability to just go crazy and party. If you just want to lay and relax, you have those options too. So again, just remember with Thailand, once you get there, everything is very cost effective. You can eat like a king for 30 or 40 US dollars and walk away and really have an amazing, amazing meal. The thing again with Thailand is, just like I said prior, is you have to budget the time to get there and budget the time to get back. And also when you're looking at these destinations in Asia, you have to think about the cost of the airfare, and it is your honeymoon. Think about upgrading to premium economy, or if you really want to splurge, think about upgrading to business or first. Yes, it's expensive, but if you have a 14 or 15 hour flight, it'd be nice to have one of those amazing lie flat seats or those pods to sleep in. It really makes the trip. And again, it's your honeymoon. It's a once in a lifetime experience. Definitely something to think about. Other things that are hot for 24 and 25, Europe continues to always be hot. Italy, Spain, and Greece. So let's just talk about Greece, because people ask about Greece all year round. What I would say to you is Greece is really a seasonal destination if you want to do the beach thing. And most people hear about Mykonos or Santorini. There are a lot of little islands off of Greece that you can go to. But you have to think of Greece May through October. Now, during the summertime in Greece, it's very, very hot and it's very, very expensive. So if you have a honeymoon you're planning and you have flexibility in your dates and you want to do Greece, my suggestion is push it off to September, October, early November, because the hotel rates can drop by 50%. Plus, it's going to be less crowded. If you're in Mykonos and Santorini during the middle of the summer, it is hard to walk. There are just people all over the place. But if you're thinking about Greece, you would typically do Athens for 3 or 4 days, do the museums, the history of the Olympics. You can then do shopping. The shopping in Athens is amazing, and the food scene in Athens is totally great. Then what you can do is fly to one of the smaller islands, or you can take a ferry over one of the smaller islands and spend 5 days to a week there. You can do a great Athens honeymoon with a small island in 10 days. The food on the smaller islands is fresh seafood. It's just relaxation sitting at a taverna. So it really can provide you that cultural experience as well as that romantic experience at the end of your trip, just to relax the two of you. So those are some of the hot trends we're seeing for 2024 and 2025. Like I tell people planning their honeymoon, first of all, a couple rules. One is it's all about time and money. The more time you have, the further you can go. The more money you have, the further you can go. So if you combine those two, I would say to you that any place between $10,000 and $20,000 in 10 days to say 17 days, you can go any place exotic, not a problem. If you're looking to go shorter with a less budget, then I think you just have to shrink your trip and look at a more cost-effective place. I would say to you, you definitely want to plan for some of these destinations we just talked about 9 months to a year in advance, because you're going to get the best pricing, and what's more important, you're going to get the best availability. When you look at these boutique hotels and these destinations, they book up fast. I mean, there are hotels that are booked 18 months in advance, because on Instagram, you may see a hotel on the cliffs of Mykonos that has a pool that overlooks the ocean, and there's so few of those rooms, and they just book up far in advance. So like you're planning your destination wedding a year to 18 months in advance, I'd highly suggest you're planning your honeymoon approximately a year in advance. We may not be able to get you the full cost because the airlines don't provide us the flight information 18 months out, but most of the time we can book the hotel portion and your tours and things like that. So this is Jack with Vacationies, helping you plan a honeymoon as well as your destination wedding, and thanks for watching my videos.